Hi everybody, Lord Mame here with another Insanity walkthrough for Mass Effect 2. Tonight we're doing Archangel, Part 1, one of my all-time favorite missions. And I mean favorite in that corners in 145, shock and awe extreme, forlorn necklace kind of way. To kick off the mission, go talk to Area Taloke in Afterlife. She'll direct you to the mercenaries that are holding sign-ups in her basement. After you join up with them, go see the driver outside the door of Afterlife, and he'll take you to this area, which is the staging area of the mercenaries' assault on the Archangel's base. You're going to find all three major mercenary factions in this area. That's Blue Suns, the Blood Pack, and of course Eclipse, all working together, but not happy about it. To make your job easier, there's a couple things you can do to sway the odds in your favor once you actually get inside Archangel's base. First of all, after picking up this data pad that's in the room with Jiroth, go outside the door and around the corner and you'll find this room full of inactive mechs. At the end of the room there'll be a large Emir mech that you can reconfigure the targeting parameters of by hacking the terminal right next to it. Halfway through the Eclipse wave, when the Emir is deployed, it'll malfunction and start attacking all the soldiers in the vicinity. And if you're anything like me, you'll get a certain amount of glee out of that. Before you reach your second piece of sabotage, go through this side door here to pick up the submachine gun damage upgrade and some heavy weapon ammo, in addition to some random pickups and a metagel off the wall. Going straight across this area, you'll encounter Sergeant Kathka, who's busy repairing the Mantis gunship that you'll face at the end of the mission. By taking a renegade action here in this cutscene, you'll actually save yourself a great deal of time and effort. Instead of having the gunship at full health when you face it, it'll be at half health, reducing the amount of time you'll actually spend wearing it down. So once Sergeant Kathka gets the go-ahead to send out the distraction team, take your renegade action, give Kathka a taste of the good old Ben Franklin, and be on your way. And to supply the requisite pun, the gunship is grounded. Too bad Kathka wasn't. In any case, once the goon squad is sent out across the bridge, this mission will have begun in earnest. Rather than attacking the freelancers immediately on the bridge, wait until you have a good attack of opportunity. Shortly after starting, you'll see a few of them standing around a bomb that they're trying to activate on the ground. If you can catch 2 or 3 of them in that blast, it'll at least soften them up for you to finish them off with conventional fire. I'm going to skip through most of this fight since it's not terribly challenging. Once you've killed all 5 of the freelancers, the door at the end of the corridor will open, but before you go through it, take a moment to go through the area and scour for the upgrades and some of the med packs that are in the area. Once you're all stocked up on ammo and loot, go through the door at the end of the corridor to finally meet up with Archangel and have the awesome reveal of a long-lost crew member.
Shepard.
Damn it! Sorry, force of habit. Anyway, after a cutscene talking to Garrus about the situation, you'll go to the edge of the platform and have a look at the first wave of troops coming in. Garrus hands you a sniper rifle and points you at the enemy. You get a renegade interrupt, and who isn't gonna take that? I know it's only one Loki mech, but really, no one is that paragon. So for the start of Encounter 2, in the first wave, you have a half dozen Loki mechs. You can stay up here on the balcony and keep sniping at them. Between you and your squad, you should be able to take out all 6 if you keep the fire on them. There are enough of them, though, that they can force you to keep your head down enough to push into the base. They're no real danger to you, but they do pave the way for the next wave of Eclipse mercenaries. As you can see, if you can't get all of them, if one of them happens to make it into the base, you want to move back to the rear stairs and take up position next to this pillar. This will put you in a good position for the start of the next wave. If you happen to take out all 6, you can stay on the balcony a little bit longer, but as soon as enemies start making it into the base, you want to move back to this rear position and prepare for the incoming. You can see we just had the start of Wave 2 of this encounter. This is mostly troopers, with one heavy trooper that it spawns near the end of this wave. Right at the start, though, you're going to see just regular troopers in large numbers. You can just stay at this corner of the staircase and cheat the corner. If they happen to get too close, you can fall back to the pillar that's just on the left side of this hallway, and then back to the room itself if you have to, but do it in stages, only falling back as far as you need to. Any ground that you give up makes it harder for you to defend the area, obviously. From this position, all the troopers are forced to come to the staircase to reach you, so you've got a good position to keep them pinned down. Some will come from the front entrance. You'll see some that also come in from the back window. From here you can pretty much keep them all under control. See right here, I'm about to get overrun. You can just fall back here for the short term if your shields are low, or you can fall back even further to this tall planter here. The shelving on the right side of the corridor is just narrow enough that even when the enemy is hiding behind it for cover, they still stick out enough for you to kill them. Once the coast is clear, come back to this corner, take out any of the remaining troopers and the heavy trooper when he shows up. For a little less safety, you can also stick your head out over this ledge. I wouldn't recommend it when there's a lot of troopers on the ground, but if there's just one or two, it's easy to take out the last stragglers this way. Now, if you haven't seen the heavy trooper pop up in the stage yet, don't pop your head out of cover until you know where he is. As you can see there, it just about cost me getting a rocket in the face as a fine how do you do. But between me and the squad, able to take them down. Which will of course lead us to the interesting part of the level. Wave 3 of the encounter is when Jareth deploys the Ymir mech. Obviously this encounter could have gone an entirely different way for you had you not sabotaged the Ymir before entering Archangel's base. However, thanks to your scheme hatchery, the Ymir is now going to give them an unfortunate welcome. This is a delicate balancing act for this wave. The Ymir is enough to effectively block off the ingress of enemy forces into the base over the bridge. However, the programming will only last for a certain amount of time. Now, the amount of fire that comes down on the Ymir is not enough for it to be destroyed unless you help out the Eclipse forces a little bit. It can take care of anything that comes over the bridge. What you should do is really soften it up so that the balance of incoming forces and the Ymir's programming reasserting itself comes to a head at virtually the same time. If you see the Ymir is having trouble taking care of the Eclipse that are coming over the bridge, you can help them out a little bit, especially if they have troops that are in danger of entering the base. For the most part though, what you want to do is soften up the Ymir enough so that you can balance out the troops so that the wave ends at roughly the same time as the Ymir goes down. Now, depending on the situation, depending on how effectively it deals with the heavies or with the engineers or with the vanguards, you may have to work out a little bit of a balance in equity. You see here I poured a little bit too much fire on it and it went down early, which means that I have to come down to the first floor and handle the remainder of this wave on foot. The obvious goal here is to keep the base safe, to keep enemies outside and deal with them outside the base as much as possible. That way it allows Archangel on the second floor and the rest of your squad on the second floor the ability to snipe them from above in relative safety while you can hold the fort down here by cheating the corner and using whatever squad power you might have left. All that's left at the end of the wave will be the vanguards, possibly an engineer, Jareth, and in this case there was also a straggler heavy, I believe, from the end of the last wave. But at this point it's nothing more than cleanup, nothing that you can't handle from safety. Jareth, of course, like all of the bosses you're going to face in this level, has multiple layers of protection, in his case both shields, armor, as well as his normal health bar. It's nothing you can't handle with Jacob and Miranda in the party. Use Miranda's overload to wipe out his shields, and of course Miranda's warp to take out his armor. Supplemented with your own warp ammo, you should make short work of him. The mission will end once Jareth and all of his Eclipse forces have been defeated, so if Jareth goes down and the mission doesn't end, just poke your nose out carefully and mob up any stragglers that happen to have survived your fiery wrath. And that will bring us to the end of the Eclipse wave and the first part of the Insanity walkthrough for Archangel in Mass Effect 2. Tune in next time for part 2 where we'll face the Blood Pack and quite possibly my least favorite part of this entire mission. Something about Vorcha with flamethrowers. Maybe it's just me. In any case, for the Insanity walkthrough, I'm Lord Mame. Thanks for watching.